Welcome back, everyone. Thank you again for tuning in for my latest video review, or my series of video reviews that will be coming up. I apologize for not having any video reviews up for the past few months. I've just been super busy with school and work. I'm in my final semester of my undergraduate career, and it's just been a very hectic time. And then I was gone for a few weeks during my winter session, or my winter break. But now I have a little bit of free time before my final semester starts up again, and I have a lot of NECA figures to review, a few Gentle Giant figures, and we'll go ahead and start with the NECA AVP Predators that I received from Big Bad Toy Store about a week ago. And wow, I was utterly excited when I heard the announcement by NECA. I don't know, what was it, maybe a year and a half ago, and when I kept seeing all the photos, when I saw them for the first time at San Diego Comic-Con, it was, I haven't been this excited for a Predator in I don't know how long from NECA. And I know the AVP movies haven't been all that jazzed up, or all that great of films compared to like the original Predator films, Predator 1 and 2, and also Predators, which wasn't a great rendition either. But personally, I love the actual Predators from Alien vs. Predator. They didn't get the justice they deserved. I thought they were pretty weakly portrayed in the movie, and then AVP 2 was just a whole other hot mess, but we won't get into that conversation now. But I genuinely love the AVP Predators, and I know they're not the traditional Predators we're used to, or the ones from the comics, but seeing those huge masses just attacking everyone, fighting the aliens, I thought they were completely badass Predators. And I know a lot of people disagree, but that's just my opinion. And if you don't like it, that's not my fault. It's some people like it, some people don't. Anyway, so let's get into the packaging for these guys. I'm actually going to do one, overview of the packaging, and I'm going to do 3 separate videos for each Predator. So each video will start out with the same packaging portion, so if you want to skip ahead if you've already seen it, and then I'll have an individual video for each individual Predator. So in the middle we do see the Celtic Predator, and on the left we see Unmasked Scar, and on the right we see Chopper. I do wish NECA did the Scar with the mask in the first series. I think it's kind of thrown off that we have one unmasked and the other 2 masked, even though we did see Scar as the only unmasked. But I wish the first series was all of them masked, or at least having Scar have like a additional accessory with the mask. I don't know, maybe one less weapon, because Randy has mentioned on Twitter that all the parts and accessories and hands are made, or have been made, to be switched within one another, so that they can be easily played around with, and with all the accessories we have, so they don't have to pack in 10 sets of hands into each figure, which is a really cool idea and something different that we've not had before. And as usual, all the bubbles in the package are the same design. In the front we have the AVP logo, Alien vs. Predator, and they all say over 30 points of articulation, include sword, spear, backpack, and cannons. And then we just have the different images and name up front. So we see Celtic right there, Chopper here, and Scar over there. Let's get these guys turned around. And they also each have the same bio for the most part. The only difference is each one will have the second paragraph about that specific Predator. So the first paragraph just discusses the AVP lore, I guess, if you want to say. Let me zoom in on that so you can pause that and read it if you want to. There we go. And then, like I said, the second paragraph will have the individual bios as well. So this one is about Celtic, if you want to pause that. And then going over here, let me get that out of the glare. This one is about Scar. Let me get that into view. There you go. And then the last one is about Chopper, if you want to go ahead and read that as well. Sorry about the glare. I tend to use a lot of natural light in my videos, so we do get a lot of glare from the windows and whatnot. So there you have it. So this first video, the first video you will see will have. So here we have Celtic opened up out of his packaging, and wow. I mean, I know I expressed my excitement and my, I guess my happiness earlier with these Predators, but once you open these guys up, they are absolutely incredible. NECA has essentially taken the body style of the usual Predators that they make and revamped them for the AVP style, making them these bulky, armored, even more badass Predators than what we are usually accustomed to. And each one of them is so, they're similar, but they're each so unique because they each have their own respective armors and weapons and accessories and looks. And you know, they are the siblings that we grew accustomed to in that film, but they each have their own personality, and even just from the armors and what we get in the packaging as well as what we saw in the film, you can really tell them apart. And I'm blown away by yet again how NECA is able to recreate such amazing works of art in films in action figure form for less than $25. So let's take a closer look at this guy before getting into the detail. So as you see the mask, it has that kind of funky mask that is quite different than the other, or what the usual Predators are. Just from the base portion here, we have kind of what looks like a breathing mask, if you want to say, but it's a really cool design and it is my favorite. And I know in the film we have we see him get the damage from the alien, and Hot Toys, they included 2 masks with that. And I believe, if I remember right, I'm kind of blanking, NECA already announced that the next Celtic will have the battle damage mask. I'm not sure, but I'll have to recheck that information after the review. I should have checked it before, but either way, you know, if we get it or not, it's still a really cool piece to have, and I'm happy we finally do have Celtic. And then taking a look down, he kind of seems to be the second most armored. I'll have a comparison shot of all 3 of the Predators, but Scar seems to have the most armor, followed by Celtic, and then even in the bio it says that Chopper has the least amount of armor. And as you can see, I put him, or he did come with the extended spear, and that's what I have him holding, as well as his wrist blades. And then he has his knife in his shin or leg holster. Taking a look at the back, again, you know, pretty much the same design. We have the blaster, the plasma cannon hooked in as well, and not much else to see. And then taking a look at the color, it's kind of a mix of a glossy or metallic gunmetal with the dark grays and then a few lighter grays and silvers here and there. It does somewhat look battle damaged, but just, you know, from the grime and the heat of the battle. And it is my favorite look or design of any Predator we've had. And NECA again just did a crazy great job with all the paint apps. And I haven't had or encountered any issues with the paint so far. I don't think there are any, or I've even seen much reported in this line. So you can see that NECA's quality control, which has never been bad, but it has stepped up even more than usual. So let's take a look at the articulation real quick. So starting with the head, as usual, I have some other Predators with the plasma cannon hooked into his back, or into their backs, and I've mentioned before in reviews that the head doesn't move too much with the plasma cannon. It does kind of move around this upper part, and some other Predators will actually make it come detached. So I don't want to move it too much, but if you can retract this gun, I think I have it all the way down at this point, and that's another really cool feature that I'll get into in just a minute. But you can't turn too much, and of course with the big heavy head set of hair or dreads, whatever he has on his head, it does make it a little bit more difficult. He does go up and down just slightly, not too much, but you know, you can kind of work it just to be careful not to loosen up too many of the pieces. Looking at the plasma cannon in the back, let me get that refocused. It's really cool that they added this feature that actually has the gun portion slide up and down. It's a little bit different from the other ones we've had or we've seen, that they just kind of rest at the top and they will just swivel. This one does not swivel. You do hook in the actual gun to the rest of the cannon. This comes separate, but this only goes forward and backwards, and then the rest slides up and down. So it's kind of a bummer that we can't swivel him too much, but it's not a big deal. And unfortunately, when I was pushing in the gun, it did become a little bit loose, so it doesn't stay up quite as well as I'd like. But I just have him holding the gun kind of in that position at the ready. But it's really cool. It does match the rest of the armor as well, with that nice gunmetal dark grayish look, with a little bit of copper right there for the bolt, and a little bit more copper colors up here. And it's really cool. Just an amazing piece, an amazing design. It pretty much is similar to the rest of the plasma cannons we've seen in the other Predators, but it does have a few unique features. I don't have my other Predators right here with me to compare, but you know, they all share the same basic outline. And then going into the rest of the articulation, we have the arms not going up too much because of the heavy shoulder pads right here, but I think even if we lift this, it doesn't go up too much. I'm not sure what's hindering it, but you can move it forward and back and twist it. And these are on a looser, I don't know how they're hooked in actually. I didn't really take a look. I think they're connected to the chest plate and they can move and be flexible. Just do be careful because they do feel fragile. We have the forearm that twists, the elbow bend, a nice almost ratchet-like bend. And as usual, the wrists do move. We have the upper chest rotation here, side to side a little bit, and just slight front and back. Now the waist, I do believe they move because I think Chopper has been the easiest, but Celtic and Scar have been very difficult to move. I haven't had a moment to heat them up or put them under hot water, but do be careful not to snap any pieces off or anything. But I do want to say these move. It's just very tight and very difficult. Moving up to the legs, the upper thighs go forward and back and in and out. And again, this hip pad kind of hinders the movement on this side. It does go out a little bit more and easier to move. And front and back, a slight twist, yep, in and out right there. Then we have the knee. We do not have double jointed, oh no, we do have double jointed knees. So the top joint for this one is a little bit tougher, so I won't move it too much. No twist over there, no upper. I know some Predators have had the upper thigh twist, but not this one. And then the feet, the side to side and slide forward to back. And look at these claws on the, or these talons on the feet. These are just huge and just so badass. I absolutely love them. He's kind of like wearing sandals to the beach right now. He has a little opening right there, so that's pretty cool. And you see the fantastic design just all throughout the armor. With, you know, you can feel the texture and everything, and you feel the more smoothness in the holster here. So that's really cool how NECA is able to capture the different designs. And then looking up here at the wrist gauntlet with the blades, just a weathered, dirty look to it, but still has that shine at the top and more of a dull feature on the bottom here. And in the shoulder pads as well, they have a more a darker, heavier tone to them, but they do also have that rough texture, almost like a knight, like a medieval knight. It's pretty cool. And then the wrist blades as usual, I think these are just the same that we have been getting with all the Predators, brighter or lighter silver color. And these are pretty sharp, so do be careful if you're playing around with them not to poke your eye out. And then looking at the rest of the armor, we do have the, what do you call it, the front pad. I know what they're called, I'm blanking on it right now. We have a few accessories right here that are not removable, and they're not flexible. Actually, this one's flexible a little bit, this one slightly. They're more of a rubber material as well, but you can't take them off. So we have a few holsters right here. And in the back, this flap is flexible as well, another rubber material. And this one is molded to his buttocks. And then we have this flexible hip pad right here, just above, or it's actually connected as well, so you can't move it too much. And then all of them do come with the same dagger. I'll just pull it out for each review. And it's just a super cool dagger. It's amazing detail in it as well. Let me try to get the light in that to work. There we go. So we have the copper and brownish handle right here. The copper is an amazing detail. It's very shiny, almost kind of like a goldish color when it's reflected. You kind of see the gold up there. Hopefully the camera captures that. And you do see some gold being reflected here and there, but it's mostly a silver color. And it's just super cool, the dagger and all the edges right here. And at the bottom we have a little hook or claw, I guess, if you want to say. And it's just a super cool design as well. Try to get that in the light so we see it better. There we go. And that one does hook into the holster on the shin or the leg that all the Predators have. And taking a look at the spear, I'm not going to take this out just because it is pretty difficult with the hand. Like I said, I haven't had time to put the joints in hot water or under a hairdryer to loosen them up. But looking at the spear, it is very similar to the other spears we have received in the past. We have the nice copperish tone at the handle and a few of the extension points. We have the nice hooks coming out here. And overall, it's a brighter silver. It doesn't really look like it has weathered or damaged look to it, but that's quite alright. It's a really awesome piece, and it's quite long too. It measures just almost its full body length, probably shoulder up to the shoulders in height. So it's pretty cool. And then on the back, I forgot to mention as well, each one comes with this hook or this latch that you can hook up either the extra spear or, in Chopper's case, the skull staffs. And they are each different sizes, so this one is the biggest and each of the other two have smaller ones. So I guess just depending on what you hook into it will give them the proper latch to be secured on. And I almost forgot to mention as well, we have the skull necklace here with the little creatures that all Predators, we do see. I don't actually remember seeing or noticing the skull necklace in the movie, so I'm not sure if that's a little touch NECA added, but I mean, nonetheless, it's kind of a given with the Predators. And as usual, we do have the netting across the body. It is sculpted and painted on, and just a phenomenal job with the paint apps as well. Alright, so here we have all three AVP Predators next to each other, and wow, they're just a badass group to look at. It is my favorite, I guess, set of Predators we've had come out. I know we've had the Lost Tribe, at multiple times we've had the Big Red's clan from Batman Dead End, or the Dead End clan. We have the Predators from the movie, and then a few others like the Elder Predator and whatnot, and Jungle Hunter, and these have to be my favorite individual Predators as well as my favorite set of Predators that we've had, and altogether they just look like the most menacing and the most fierce. I know they're just teenagers, I know the movie was this, I know they look like that and whatnot, but personally that's just my opinion. I absolutely love them, and altogether they just look phenomenal. Let me just get a close-up real quick of all three. Let me take the camera off the tripod. There we go. Oops, sorry, not to get it hooked on. So there we have Celtic, Scar over there, and Chopper. Looking at all three of them, they are pretty much the same height. It might be a little bit hard to tell, but in person it looks like Scar is actually taller than Celtic. In the footage I kind of see it in the camera. It looks like Celtic is taller, but it's actually Scar that is the taller of the two. And I do have Chopper in the crouching or the bent knee stance, so I'm not quite sure. He might even be as tall as Scar, but it looks like Celtic is the shortest of the three. And then just again taking a look at the plasma cannons, compared to Celtic and Scar, Chopper has the little one. And he does also have the least amount of armor. As you can see, it kind of looks like Celtic and Chopper have the same amount, but on the back and the hip, Chopper has just a little bit more, and Celtic has a little bit more. Chopper has just a few missing or a few less pieces. I get the names mixed up, Celtic, Chopper, this and that, but I do know the differences. So there we have them all right next to each other. Thank you all for watching. Thank you also for bearing with me, as it has been a while, like I mentioned, since I've done any review. So just getting back into the scheme of things, and thank you all for watching. Thank you all for the support. Please like and share my videos, leave any comments below, and follow and like all my other pages I have as well on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Thank you again, and we'll see you next time.